everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new released Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice 6-inch basic figure blast attack Batman from Mattel. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've seen with the other Dawn of Justice basic figures. You've got the generic image of Batman and Superman up in the corner, and you've got the Batman vs. Superman logo. The figure's clearly displayed, and then you have the name of the character down below. Now even though they call this Blast Attack Batman, I think the more accurate name is Knightmare Batman. We actually see this costume in the movie. On the back of the packaging, we have a look at the figure. He's standing on that rooftop with the rain falling, and then off to the side we have a look at some other figures, which are basically generic variants. Heat Vision Superman was actually kind of a cool looking figure. Heat Shield Batman and Night Glider Batman. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the accessories. So first of all, he comes with this big blaster. It looks like a kind of like a sonic blaster or something. I'm not sure if this is something he has in the actual movie or if it's just something they've included, but it does look pretty good for the most part, better than most of the weapons we see in this line. It is all just black, so there's not a lot of paint detail, but the sculpting is pretty decent on it. You've got the magazine here at the bottom, and again, it just kind of looks like a sonic type blaster. And he can hold it in either hand. You just kind of have to wedge it between his thumb and his fingers. The plastic on the hands are kind of hard, but you can get it in there. And again, he can hold it in either hand. Now, because of the articulation on the figure, you can't really get it in any kind of two-handed poses. Now, besides the blaster, he also comes with a pair of goggles, and these are definitely something you see in the movie. We've seen it in the trailers. So the goggles are just kind of a rubber type material. They're just brown. There's actually no lenses in the goggles themselves. So you can put it over his head, so you can either kind of have it so it's up above on his forehead, or you can actually have it down over his eyes. For the figure itself, I think they've done a pretty nice job with this figure, even though it is just one of their regular basic figures, which is one of the cheaper figures, costs around 10 or 12 bucks. But I think they've done a pretty nice job. I think the face sculpt actually looks pretty good. I like the coat. The coat is a separate piece. It's done with that vinyl type material. Now the sleeves of the coat are sculpted on, so even though you can technically take the coat off, he's still going to have the sleeves on, so it looks kind of funny when you take it off. He's got this scarf piece, which is sculpted on here. It's just hard plastic, but it's, you know, he's got that on there. He's got this metallic silver utility belt. I don't know if what he's wearing in the movie is actually metallic silver as opposed to the traditional yellow or gold. But on this figure it's definitely silver. And then he's got gray pants with some nice sculpting texture. He's got the regular bat boots. He's got the bat gloves with the little things that hang off the bottom like we always see with Batman. So again, overall I think they've done a pretty nice job, even though this is just a basic figure with the sculpting and everything. Now the figure is going to be released, this version of the character is going to be released in the multiverse, the higher end multiverse line as well. I believe it's due out in the second wave, which will probably be out in a few weeks. So real quick, I just want to retract. I said the coat was removable, and technically it is a separate piece, and if you really wanted to get it off, you could, but it looks like it's actually glued on his back, so it's not meant to be taken off. This figure stands about 6¼ inches tall. In comparison with some of the other basic Dawn of Justice figures that Mattel has done, so Aquaman, regular Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman are all about the same height as this Knightmare Batman, and then the armored Batman figure is a little bit taller. And then here's a comparison with two of the multiverse figures, Dawn of Justice multiverse figures that Mattel did with Wonder Woman and Superman. And you can see, like all the multiverse figures, it's a bit taller than the basic figure. Articulation is pretty basic on this figure, like all of the basic Dawn of Justice figures that Mattel is doing. He can look left and he can look right, but he really doesn't have any up or down movement with the head. No ball joints at the shoulder, so all he has is rotation there at the shoulder. You can't do the arms out. Single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. You do have a swivel at the elbow, but no wrist articulation, no midsection articulation, just the T-crotch for the legs, so you can do the legs forward. Because of the jacket brackets, you can't do the legs back too much, and you can't do he can't do the splits at all. He's just got a single hinged knee, and the joints are actually pretty tight on the knee, but he can bend his knee about that much, and then no ankle articulation at all, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I would say, keeping in mind that this basic figure is made more for kids and everything, I think it's a decent figure. I think the sculpting is decent. I like the accessories. Of course, the articulation is not that great with this line, and if you want more high-end detail, then I'd probably wait for the more expensive multiverse version to come out, which probably should be in just a few weeks. But if you've been collecting these basic figures, I think this is one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. I like that they did a figure that actually appears in the movie and everything, as opposed to most of the variants for Batman and Superman, which are not seen in the movie. So this figure is out now. I found mine at Walmart, but it should probably be available anywhere that sells these Dawn of Justice figures. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.